new, and a scrap piece 2x4. And all I did, and you don't even have to be this accurate, but I'm a little bit touchy when it comes to building something like this. So I just measured down so that I had the same distance from the top side and put a nail through it. And I just nailed it so it wasn't real tight, so it was easy to move it in and out like scissors. Laid it on the ground. Got it about the distance apart that I wanted it to work with. And all I did was measure up so I was at the same distance from the bottom of each plank to where that 2x4 went across. If it wasn't that way, it'll still work, it just won't look as pretty. Because gravity is down, and when you hang something to the ground, it goes straight down. So as long as it doesn't move, it doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical. They build these in the third world, they get 2 saplings and they wire them together and hang a water bottle from them. Which, where's my string? Well, that'll work. All right, the only reason I didn't want to use one of these is because everybody will become convinced they need one.
Yeah. Well, you normally use a rock or something.
You can use a rock, you can use a water bottle. That was a good timing. You want to look down and make sure when you set the level on it, that you don't knock it off level. We'll just make it right there. Flip it around. You're off. I said. Level told me I wasn't level.
The board may be what the bit.
It might be. Or I might have just got impatient. I did. I got impatient with it. There's our action. We'll have to know which one to use here.
Yeah, much better.
Usually, this is what we got there, right about the string's width apart when we flip it around. Alright. So the 2 lines with the marks across the top are the right lines. And that's it. It's calibrated, it's ready to use. It's just as high tech as it was when the Egyptians used it to lay pyramids. And the only thing you got to do when you're using it is you find your level and you want to go to your next place instead of picking it up and doing this. Flip it around. And if you keep walking it around, it'll self-correct for a little bit of what you'll have off. And that's it. And I invite you guys to play with it. Nick here. Nick's the guy I was talking about.
Hey guys.
And Nick.
Nick interned with Jeff. You probably had more time with these things than you know what to do with. So you can tell people that is what you're supposed to do. And we'll play with this today. But like I said, we're not going to use it over here because of what we've had to do to the landscape to get it ready for today.
So I take it when you're laying it out, you just put flags down.
Yeah, you put flags down or put stakes in the ground if you can get them in the ground. That's iffy here. But does everybody get how to do that, how simple that really is? And really, don't stress over how symmetrical this is. I put this together in about 5 minutes. It just can't move. If it's wonky and it shifts, it'll change where it's dropping for you. So anybody wants to play with this, grab it.
So in your perimeter of 360 around your initial leg, if you find a number of level spots, you can kind of go in whichever general direction you want to head.
And if you don't, like if you think you found a level spot, when you start trying to walk off that spot you didn't, you're probably not following the actual content. The other thing is, since you're only covering here, what, 5 feet, 4.5, 5 feet, it's possible that wherever your next level point is, there's a rock, there's a stick, there's a point at which maybe you go ahead and go, well, I know this is my last point, maybe I'll shift a little bit in the direction I think the contour is going. It can get frustrating, especially with the landscape that you think you know which way it's going and it doesn't. And when you guys see how the rotary levels work, you'll see why I'd say even on a job this size, if you don't want to buy one, rent one, because it goes about 1,000 times faster, but this will work anywhere, any place there's gravity. So if you're on planet Earth and you got one atmosphere, and as long as the laws of physics stay the same, this will work. It will hang to the side that's low. So one of the things you can do when you're on a place and you're looking for level is bring up the low side until you get it to hang level. And once you do, just start swinging. And it'll get you close when you find a place where you start to drag.
You're getting the one, yeah.
There you go. So you've got the beginnings of a contour right there.
Now, don't you have to be careful that the string is not binding on that cross
Yep.
piece?
Yep, and all you got to do is just lean it forward. And it's very easy to do this on a day like today.
No wind.
No wind.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I bought a rotary level. I was out here just trying to find basic contours of one of these. The wind was doing this to the string, and I went into Amazon and said, screw it.
And where those guys go for?
If you were in a little bit dip, I guess it could be impossible to figure out which way.
Well, let's say you're in a valley, a little dip. Well, your contours are going to run along. Almost no matter where you are, there's a contour. But it could be a really short piece around a tree where that you can't find it with that, and that's where you have to start looking for the larger.
Well, yeah, but your contours, don't you usually want, if you got this kind of slope, shouldn't your contour always run across grade?
But what he's saying is, let's say I got a general land sloping this way,
Right.
and then I got a ditch in it,
Oh,
right? Well, so technically somewhere that would follow that ditch and come back.
yeah.
I mean, there's always a place that it'll return to itself unless there's a cliff and it
You just
drops
have
off.
to go around that
Yeah,
dip or
but if you
fill
have
it in.
that, you might have to, yeah, it all depends. If it's, is it a little dip, right, like a ditch that's this wide, or is it a dip that runs from here to my neighbor's house? Well, in that case, it's not a dip, it's a landform. And now we've got to follow it. Where if it's just a little ditch or something, we can bring in some fill or whatever, it depends on what we're trying to do. But I'm going to go grab the high-tech machine.